In this section, we're going to find slope from two given points. So, to clarify, when we talk about points, we're talking about coordinate points in the form of x, comma, y. In order to find slope, we have to follow the formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or M equals y1 minus y2, and then over x1 minus x2. So you notice on both forms that here we start off with y2 on the top, so therefore you start off on x2 on the bottom. Over here, if you start off in y1 on the top and on the bottom, then you need to start off with x1. So basically it's about following a specific order. So if you start with the 2's, you gotta, on the top, you gotta start off with the 2's on the bottom. If you start off with the 1's on the top, then you gotta start off with the 1's on the bottom. Alright, so here's our first example. So when you're given 2 points, your first task is to label your x1, x2, y1, y2. Now, so if I choose this, my -4, to be x1, because that's our x value according to this coordinate point right here, then therefore this will be my y1 and this will be my x2, therefore this will be my y2. So when we're labeling points, remember a coordinate point always have an x and a y value. So if this is my x1, then therefore this is my y1. If this is my x2, therefore this is my y2. Remember, each coordinate point always have an x and a y. These are my 1's, these are my 2's. Now, you don't have to follow this specific order. You could choose this to be x2, y2, therefore you can make this x1, y1, but you still end up getting the same slope. So, I'll follow this method, show you the work, and then show you the other work in the event when I choose this to be my x2, y2, and then this becomes x1, y1. So, and again, it doesn't matter which order you do, but say I use this one, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So my y2 goes first, so -4. I put exactly what I see, minus my y1, which is 7, over my x2, which is -6, minus, now this is where we have to be careful, my x1 is negative, so I'm going to include parentheses on it, -4. So when you plug in negative numbers, and if there's a minus in the front, include parentheses, because this is what's going to happen. Since I put parentheses, I see that it's a minus right next to a negative. So what happens, that this one only changes, everything else stays the same. So in my numerator, -4 minus 7 over -6. Since this is a minus next to a negative, that becomes plus 4. Alright. Now, we simplify. On the numerator, -4 minus 7, that becomes -11, over -6 plus 4, that becomes -2. And we can simplify that because a negative divided by negative would become a positive 11 over 2. So that's our slope. Let me box that up. So slope is 11 over 2. Now, what happened if I reverse the order? So, instead of this becoming x1, y1, and this become x2 and y2, I switched the order. So this I chose to be x2, y2, then this x1, y1. What would happen? So I'm going to use the same formula So my y2 goes first, so 7. And then my minus y1, oh look, there's a negative 4. So I'm going to put parenthesis, negative 4, just like that, over my x2, which is negative 4, minus, oh look, it's a negative 6. Since I'm plugging negative 6, I'm going to put parenthesis on it. Alright, now, since I have a minus next to a negative on the top and on the bottom, the numerator and the denominator, I'm going to change those first. So on the numerator, it's going to be 7 plus 4 over negative 4 plus 6. Now the only thing that I changed was minus negative 4 to plus 4, minus negative 6 to plus 6. That's all I did. And then I simplify. 7 plus 4 is just 11. Negative 4 plus 6 will be a positive 2. Nothing else I can do to simplify. So that's our final answer for our slope. Alright, so that's all we have to do for finding slope. Now, again, I mentioned before, it doesn't matter how you label it as long as you label the x and the y. So if this is my x2, therefore this has to be my y2. If this is going to be my x1, then this has to be my y1. Remember, coordinate point always have an x and a y. And if you're using this formula, as you can see, with two different orders, I still end up with the same answer. And even if you use this formula, you will still end up with the same answer as long you be careful with your signs, just like how I did here. If you done correctly, you should get the correct answer. In our second example, we have the coordinate point 1, comma, negative 19 and negative 2, comma, negative 7. So, given 2 points, our first task is to label our points. So, if I choose 1 to be my x1, then my negative 19 will be y1. My negative 2 will be x2. Therefore, my negative 7 will be y2. Alright, in the last example I used that formula, but say I choose to use this formula. Again, doesn't matter which one you use, you will end up the same answer as long as it's done correctly, especially with signs. So I'm going to use this one, my y1, so negative 19, minus my y2, so minus, watch out now, it's a negative 7, so I'm going to put parenthesis on it, negative 7, over my x1, which is just 1, minus, watch out now, it's a negative 2 that I'm going to plug in, so I'm going to put parenthesis on the negative 2. Alright, next I'm going to simplify, since I have a minus next to a negative on the numerator and on the denominator. Negative 19 plus 7 over 1 plus 2. So that's all I did to change where I have the minus next to the negative. Alright. Next thing is the numerator, negative 19 plus 7, that would become negative 12 over 1 plus 2, which is 3. Now, I can simplify this because 3 can go to negative 12 4 times. So negative 12 divided by 3 will be negative 4. So that will be our slope. Now, what happened if I didn't choose this to be my x1 instead of x2? Let's try that. So say I choose this to be my x2, therefore this is my y2, then this will be my x1, y1, and say I'm using this formula, the same formula I did on this work right here. Alright, so again I'm using this formula, so my y1 goes first, so negative 7, minus my y2. Watch out now. I'm plugging in negative 19, so I'm going to put parenthesis negative 19 over my x1, which is negative 2, minus 1. So I'm going to simplify the top because it has a minus next to a negative. So it'll be negative 7 plus 19 over negative 2 minus 1. Now, I'm going to combine the top. So my numerator, negative 7 plus 19, will be a positive 12 over negative 2 minus 1 will be a negative 3. 3 can go into 12, so it would be a whole number. So 12 divided by negative 3 will be negative 4. So, as shown before, just like in the last example and this example, doesn't matter which order how you label your x and y, as long as you label correctly. If this is my x2, this has to be my y2. If this is my x1, then therefore this is my y1. Be very careful with your labeling. Be very careful with your signs. And again, doesn't matter which order you use, we still end up with the same answer. Same thing if I were to use this one, we would still end up with the same answer.